What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Take Time Out. This is episode number 50. We're 50 episodes in. That's craziness. Um, yeah, real quick, if you got one, go ahead and name your favorite episode that you've either recorded or watched so far. Mine would definitely have to be that episode where we did the debate block, like where we all debated players and spun a wheel. That one was pretty fire for me.
My favorite
How about
one was when Deal said, "Let's bring up the Michael Jordan versus the LeBron debate." So that's top moment.
I think that's also my favorite moment because it was the first episode I was ever on, and like we had everything was going to script, and then that just I don't know, nothing will ever top that moment.
that's our most viewed video?
One of my favorite moments is just it's kind of a series of moments when Kyler mispronounces names, and it's just critical to
Bro,
our
the
episode.
people,
You know,
yeah,
all
the
all
people get to see
TJ
it.
just gotta be up
Staple.
to.
All right, well, we're doing our first ever 1.0 mock draft. So we're gonna, as you see on screen, go through the first round of all the teams and pick four of them. So in our draft order, it will be me first, Seth second. James is going third, right?
Mhm.
And then Nate's going last.
Man, if you don't get him.
So I'm on the board. I'm on the board with the Chicago Bears, division rival. Um, I think this is a pretty easy one. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go with that boy Caleb Williams. Take all the tears. Crazy
Yeah,
pick.
I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that.
No,
Nope, they traded
Keenan
And
away
Allen was
their only QB.
yeah, Keenan Allen was chopping it up with him at his pro day today, so we love to see it. All right,
so
Nate.
with the second
I mean
pick,
Seth.
Washington is going to make a terrible mistake, and they're going to take the fraud from the ACC, which produces nothing but overrated and bustable QBs, Drake May. And they're going to regret it. He's gonna. My exact comparison is gonna be the Daniel Jones pick from the New York Giants a couple years ago. He's gonna be good enough to where you're like, well, maybe we should check him out for another year. And then about 5 years from now, they're gonna be like, damn, we're still checking him out. And yeah, it's gonna be a horrible pick and probably set their franchise back a couple years.
Or he could be the next Josh Allen. Because that's who
I
he
mean,
reminds me of, bro. Like when you look at all these other quarterbacks, like yeah, Caleb Williams is, he's above and all the rest, but like when you're comparing him and Daniels, the one thing that stands out to me is May weighs like right now 230 pounds. And Jane Daniels is built like Hollywood Brown.
well, he's gonna
So,
weigh 260 after he starts delivering DoorDash in about 5 years.
bro, whatever, man. We'll see how it plays out. I'm just saying, man. I don't understand the hate, man. But get it off. Get off your chest.
Okay, so with the third pick, the New England Patriots are on the clock. This is a pick where I can see them trading back, but we do not have trades enabled for this. Um, just some things I like to talk about. I think they want a QB for their future. So I do think they go Jaden McDaniels here. Uh, kind of restart, the whole coaching tree that they got going on over there and get a QB for the future.
Man,
I
but how
like
do you
it.
feel about that pick personally, though? Like, if you are the Patriots, like, it's just scary after you don't draft anything that would help a franchise QB. After you don't sign anything that would help a franchise QB, and you're like, screw it, we're gonna go ahead and do it. We're gonna draft him. Like, it's just it reminds me of so many situations we've seen in the past. Like Seth was talking about that situation. Well, I'm thinking of the Zach Wilsons and all these different things that people have came into with no weapons. Even Daniel Jones didn't have weapons. So we'll see how it plays out, though.
Hmm.
All right, y'all kept it pretty simple with the top three, and I think that's how it should go. There's a reason why you're drafting that high. You should grab your quarterback. But these are two teams that both have quarterbacks. So we'll start at number four at the Cardinals, and I'm gonna go with Marvin Harrison, the best non-QB in the draft.
Pretty standard.
I agree, Nate. I think, they let go of some receivers They signed some offensive linemen, and that's what they desperately need right now is the wide receiver.
And when
Mhm.
Kyler Murray is playing at his best, he had D Hop as his number one.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love
And
that
then
for Marv.
hop with the Chargers. Now this is gonna be tough because there's a lot of conversation with who's the number two wide receiver. I think the Chargers should still go wide receiver, especially after losing everything that they did. But I'm gonna go, I think Malik Neighbors here. I think he's like Marvin Harrison is by far the number one wide receiver in this draft. But like if there's a one B that you could argue, I think it's definitely Neighbors here.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, a lot of mocks had him taking a tackle here, but with them getting rid of Keenan and yeah, I think it's either him or Bowers. So yeah, good pick, Nick.
Yeah, and then so I got my Giants up on the clock, and I think if this is kind of how it falls, um, I think we either go offensive line or wide receiver. But as of right now, we kind of address some offensive line needs and free agency. So I think receiver is more important to whatever this garbage fire of a franchise has going on. So I think we do take Roma Dunze here. Um, I mean, I've liked what I've seen from him. I've liked we were all watching Washington. I was just like, and this guy's going to be special. You know, he's a great deep threat. He's a big receiver, and you can kind of see the drive that he has, and I hope it translates to the next level.
Hmm.
I think he's going to be better than Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's going to be the best receiver in this class.
I
Not a
hope
bad
the
take
Giants
on that.
grab him.
Yeah, yeah. The one thing I did want to point out is like it just kind of stuck with me like just now. Like, so you look at all these other quarterbacks that are getting taken. I mean, I guess Caleb Williams is the only other one, but Drake May. Do you see one of his receivers going this early, bud?
Hmm.
Yeah, they, you don't see that. So I'm just saying, on my Drake May stock, it's going up more and more. Like I love the dudes that just get hate on right before draft time because we see that turn the tables turn a little bit. But all right, Seth, you're up
Yeah,
at the
with
Titans.
the Titans, just keep it simple. I think they're going to take a tackle. I think they'll take the best available at this point. So Joe out. Not really have much to say about it.
Hall of
No, I
Famer.
like it. Like you said, keep it simple. Sometimes when you're a bad team, the easiest thing to do is keep it simple in the draft.
Hmm.
Here we go, man. So Falcons, this is probably the most up in the air one. What are they really gonna do? Man, what do I think they should do though? I think they should take the best edge available. Um, and there's somebody scroll back up real quick. Yeah, man. I guess I'm gonna just take a shocker one, dude. I'm gonna go with Dallas Turner. I feel like their secondary is pretty good. I don't think that they need to really reach. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dallas Turner for them.
Yeah, and this website's kind of throwing me off a little because like Dallas Turner is definitely above some of these corners that they got really high on here. So
Right.
don't let that deter you from what you plan on picking because I mean he was all the way down here, but you can kind of see their ADP ranking on the side. Like you
Yeah.
have Cooper DeJean, whose ADP is 19, but somehow he's all the way up here, and there's guys that are obviously lower.
Right. It makes sense. All right. So back to the Bears, right? Hmm. Let me see. This will be a good Dallas Turner team too, but I think he goes like I said right before it. Um, so if it's not Dallas Turner, thinking they probably take a corner. So out of all the corners that we got sitting here, I'm gonna probably say Teron Arnold. I think he'd probably be the best in my eyes, just taking a shot in the wind. So
You guys hear me? Sorry, I think I lost audio for a second.
Yeah,
oh
you
no, yeah,
good.
we hear you.
All right, sorry.
You're good. Yeah. Did you hear me though?
No, I didn't get any of that. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Arnold. So back-to-back Alabama players. So Teron Arnold.
All right. Seth.
For me, I feel like the Jets, they're going to want to protect Aaron Rodgers. So, next best tackle available out of Penn State. I don't know how to say his name, but
Uh, yeah, I get what I'm picking up what you're putting down.
yeah, I just think I don't know. Probably priority number one, protect that VP. So, take a tackle, keep him safe.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
So it's
Nate.
me, right?
I mean,
Uh,
wait, yeah, it's James. So all right, James.
Real
My
quick,
fate
who did
is
Seth
in your
say?
hands. What's up?
what's that, Nate?
Who did you say, Seth? I'm sorry.
Uh, Dude, I don't. Alalume Fashunu. I don't know how to say it.
All
Yeah,
right,
the
I just
tackle
wanted to
from Penn
see.
I
State.
apologize.
I just wanted to hear it one time.
All right.
All right, so I got the Vikings. With kind of how everything's been shaping out, it sounded like, they could be trading up for this guy, and I hate to do this to you, Dom, but I think if he were to fall all the way to pick 11, uh, I do think they get JJ McCarthy. It's not who you want. We all think that he's bad, but that's just kind of where my mind's taking me at the 11th pick.
Yeah, it's sad, man. It really is. Yeah, I don't know if I talked about it last week. I think I did though. Like my ideal situation and scenario, would be us taking Penix even later than this with the pick that we acquired and just going out and getting a guy like I don't know, some corner depth or even like yeah, anything but JJ McCarthy at this point for me. We brought him in for a meeting, so it's not looking good. I mean, but it seems like a John Elway guy, somebody John Elway would like. So I'm hoping he falls to this pick right here. But go ahead, Nate.
All right. So Broncos are in a very tough situation because they don't have a quarterback. Team's not very good. Their what do I want to say here? Their head coach is also pretty questionable at the time. Um, there's not really any quarterbacks to go after right now. So I honestly think they go defense. The best defense player available right now, I think that's Quinyon Mitchell, who's a cornerback out of Toledo. I think he's ranked like consensus like top three corners. I
Mhm.
just think it's a very safe pick for them to go with.
Not bad. I'm kind of in the same boat with you. As if they don't have any quarterbacks they like when they get to that pick, yeah, I don't see them reaching, and they go defense.
Yeah,
Maybe they can get QB in the second or third round or something.
Hmm.
yeah. A lot of Bo Nix talk to them though. It'd be crazy. All right, Nate, it's back to you.
All right, same thing with the Raiders. Um, lose Josh Jacobs, big question mark at the quarterback position. Um, it's one of those situations where it's like you either go tackle or you go defense. Just for safety, no matter who they want to put back at quarterback next year, I think that they should go tackle here. And let's go to Lisa
Hmm.
Fuega out of Oregon State. Just that's who a lot of Bengals fans want us. Hopefully he falls to us, but he dominated at the Senior Bowl. Like I think he's going to be a really really good offensive tackle in the league.
Yeah, there's a lot of good tackles talked about in this draft, man. And that what a better spot than to start your rebuild, you know?
Hmm.
So with the Saints picking at 14, I think if a guy like Brock Bowers does fall, that's someone they could eye. But for me, I don't know. I think when you get to this point, you still kind of just want to buff up that defensive line even more. I know they just got Chase Young, but I think if Byron Murphy's still here, that's who you grab. So I'm going with for the New Orleans Saints.
I like it.
Yeah, I think the Saints, all in all reality, just want to draft money at this point, but
Yeah.
can't really do that.
With the 15th pick, the Colts, because they love their cold white boys that come into the NFL from the Midwest, and the heir to Pat McAfee right here,
Hmm.
even though they don't play the same position. Give me Cooper.
I think we
Oh,
lost
froze.
him, but
Cooper
I think
DeJean is
he's
where he's going with.
stupid regime.
yeah, he's frozen. But I knew where he was going.
Look at them lips, bro. He's just about to spit out of his mouth. He's about to go on a tangent.
He might be kissing me. I don't know.
Yeah.
You just have to reconnect the call.
Okay. We should pick him back up.
He'll be back.
Yeah. But yeah, Cooper DeJean. That's spicy right there.
Hmm. I mean, he's honestly someone. I mean, he was a returner for Iowa. He was like a do-it-all. I mean, that guy is special. He is special.
Hmm. It's gonna be next Harrison Smith.
Hmm.
Do it all type of dude.
I
Yep.
assume he has to be a zone type of corner, like primarily play zone coverage.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know too much about him, so I'm not gonna act like an expert on him. But I mean, if he's like a shutdown man to man, bro, he might be the greatest corner already to do it.
Coldest white boy ever.
Well, I mean, like he was a state champion and track. Like, and dude's fast. I mean, you need to be when you are a corner, but like I said, he's a do-it-all. He could probably play receiver too. He could put him in the slot. So
Yeah. Well, we lost Seth. We're gonna have to go without our boy, man. Wait.
The Seth just went, so
Yeah,
be
I'll go.
James.
Wait, no, it's me, right?
yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
All right. Little technical difficulties, but Seattle's on the clock. Seattle, man. They did sign a tight end. I would love to take Brock Bowers here. I hate to see him keep sliding. They love tight ends. But they feel like another edge for me. So I'm gonna go with Laiatu Latu.
Mm,
Edge from UCLA. Yep. Spice it up a little bit.
yeah. All right. So it's back to me with the Jags. I mean, as we're kind of looking here, I think someone that they could be eyeing at this pick and his ADP is at 17, and this is pick 17 is Jared Verse. And the reason I think they do go edge here is because Josh Allen, not the Bills, but for the Jags, I think he'll be a free agent next year.
Mm-hmm.
So with his, future with the team kind of up in the air, I think they kind of look with someone to replace him or potentially work beside him. So I love this pick for the Jags, and um, I think it's kind of a sleeper defense.
Like it.
It worked out well
Oh,
for you, Nate.
I get my own
Nicely.
Wow.
team.
Wow.
All right. So I have to do it strictly because I'll get killed by other Bengals fans if I don't, just because of how everything fell. I'm gonna take Brock Bowers here. Now, do I think realistically he's gonna fall here? Maybe, but I probably doubt not. Um, I would really like us to go offensive tackle or even a corner in this spot right here. But I
Hmm.
mean, if there is a world where Brock Bowers falls to us and the top two or three tackles are already taken off the board, I mean, I think it's kind of a no-brainer to just add another weapon to that offense.
Yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
Oh,
Got to at
Ram.
this point. I mean, especially after you signed Trent Brown and all that. I mean, kind of solidified
Yeah.
to me that this would be the way that y'all would go. All right, Nate, back to you, boy.
All right. On to the Rams. With Stafford coming back, I think their offense will be back. It should be clicking on all cylinders like it was last year. I think there's an argument for defense, especially since they just lost Aaron Donald this offseason. Um, but kind of just looking at the board right here, there's not really too many defensive, like, there's not too many edges left that are high up. There's an interior defense lineman, but I think with the tackle or with the class that's so deep in tackles, I think it's safe to get a tackle, keep Matthew Stafford upright, and right here I'm gonna go JC Latham out of Alabama. Like I said, you just gotta keep your franchise quarterback upright.
It's a great pick. It's an honest, true pick. Um, so for me, pick 20 for the Steelers. I know me and Dom have been preaching this about how well the Steelers have done in the offseason. Um, and there's two positions in need that they really do need to get in this draft, and that's the center, tackle, and receiver. So as we're kind of looking at receivers, we got Brian Thomas still on the board, Adonai Mitchell.
Hmm.
Um, still some great. It's a deep receiver class, but I think they'd be kicking themselves if they don't get a generational center, and that's what they really need, and that's why I think they're scared to trade this pick away for Brandon Ayuk is because they know that they can secure a center. Um, and Jackson Powers Johnson, he's a great talent, and I feel like that's kind of the last piece they need in that offense if he develops the way that they think he will. So that's the pick for the Steelers.
Well, that's very Steelers-esque too. Is get the best uh interior offensive lineman and then don't worry about that position for the next 6 to 8 years.
Yep.
So I really like that pick right there.
Yeah, it's good. Um, yeah, don't get too cute and do all the flashy stuff, which I feel like that's what the Steelers don't do. I mean, paying two QBs what you're paying them, that ain't flashy at all. So that is something that I definitely do. So I'm sitting here with the Dolphins, and it's one of my losers of free agency. I think they got worse, but I'm gonna go ahead. Um, and I'm gonna take go back to the draft player real quick. I want to make sure I pronounce his
Hmm.
name right. Jerzon Newton, yeah, the D lineman, because a lot of people
Hmm.
have Byron Murphy falling to the Dolphins. I don't think that happens. Kind of like James was talking about. But I think they just go next best, replace Christian Wilkins with some talent. So
Yeah, it's a great pick. I think they lost a lot of pieces on their defense, and they're going to be looking at the draft to replace those because they don't want to pay those players that they had last year. So they're going to get all these guys on rookie contracts, and I think the Dolphins do a great job at developing. And it's a Rick Fangio, his defense.
no,
Yeah.
he got fired.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, and yeah, you don't remember that? Yeah, he got fired. Then the video came out of Holland, and he was kicking rocks, and he was like, "Good riddance," and all this stuff happened. And then a bunch of players left from the Dolphins and came to Minnesota because they
Oh
like
yeah,
Flores so much. So it might have been a Flores thing, man. I mean, that dude, what he did with the Vikings defense last year was pretty incredible. Like he went from one
Yeah.
of the worst defenses to a middle of the pack defense, and now we'll see what happens this year with all the moves we've made. But
yeah. I mean, I guess we'll see if these players develop. If it was, you know, a Rick Fangio thing or what. But
yeah,
I agree with the pick there.
all right, yeah, it's back to me. Um, Yeah, been looking at this one. I looked at the Ringers earlier, and they had the Eagles taking Cooper DeJean. That would have been funny, man. The Eagles landing with a white DB just would have been comical, dude. Um, yeah, they definitely need some DB help still. I mean, it was bad what we saw last year. It was
Yeah.
real ugly. I'm gonna go with Nate Wiggins.
Hmm. And that's a spot where I could have seen the next receiver come off the board to
Yeah,
be that wide receiver three. But I don't feel like that's a need for them as much as it is in that secondary.
exactly,
So,
dude. There's KJ Osborne sitting everywhere. You just gotta throw him in. It's not a lot of, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
so sorry, Dom, but I guess I'm drafting for the Vikings again. But I mean, this is a spot where we don't really know why they traded up. I don't know if they're going to package those picks to trade up even more. Um, but the Vikings kind of need a lot of help in different spots. I don't know if they reach for a quarterback here, but we already did grab JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
So with that being said, if that's how it plays out, man, I'd like to see them just get more interior help. So I'm just going to go with Troy Fatanu, just
Hmm.
the next best offensive lineman available. Because I mean, that's what you want with a rookie quarterback for them to grow together and to
Yeah.
establish that rebuild.
Yeah. I mean, we have two great tackles, but I think what's his name can play guard. Can't think of his name,
Hmm.
but yeah. So like you said, man, if we do end up taking McCarthy, I hope we go lineman. Just sure it up. We have one of the better lines in the league, but we got to sure up that position, man. There's no better place to start, and we took a swing at Addison last year and we made it happen. So it's time to take the serious positions now.
Yeah, I agree. Hmm. All right, Nate.
All right, on to the Cowboys. I think they're kicking themselves with the Vikings' previous selection because they were hoping that Fatan would fall to them.
Hmm.
But I think that they need to replace Tyron Smith. That's something that even when he was still on the roster, uh, hurt or playing, they never really found a true replacement for him. So I think that this is their opportunity, and we're going to go Amarius Mims out of Georgia.
Good pick.
Hmm.
A lot of offense, but this is the league that we're trending towards.
Yes, it's fact. All right, Packers. See you, mate.
Packers. So I think this has to be defense. I think that their offense was really clicking really well last year. They get Josh Jacobs. I think they retain all their receivers for the most part. So I think you go one of the best defense players and honestly one of the coolest names out of any prospect. Let's go with Kool-Aid Ministry or McKinstry.
Yeah, Ministry would have been real tough. I'll tell you that right now.
Kool-Aid
Kool-Aid
Ministry.
Ministry would have been something else. But yeah, Kool-Aid McKenzie is pretty cool too.
If it was Kool-Aid Ministry, we would have been have talks about Waco, Texas. Y'all know what that is. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
So I got the Bucks on the clock here. As we see right here, it says that they need all these positions, but I kind of disagree. I think they are both set at running back and tight end.
Hmm.
Might need some help on the offense, but I think this draft is so deep in corners that they kind of hold off on that, and I think they get help on that offensive line, and I think they get Zach Frazier. Keep it simple, short, in the trenches.
Yep. Keep your new dude upright, Baker. All right, on to the Cardinals. Um, Cardinals. They got rid of Rondell Moore. Pretty
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Um, I'm thinking, I'm thinking, their defense definitely had a pretty decent start, but to me, what jumped off the page is going to be kind of a weird take, but I'm gonna go with Peyton Wilson. I thought their linebacker play outside of Kazir White was pretty garbage to say the least. So I'm gonna go with a dude who's talked about that can play, that can make some tackles and play pass coverage as well. So if you can take the best linebacker in the draft right here, I say you do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now with the Bills, this is where it gets a little frisky, man. Bills, like Gabe Davis go. I know a lot of people got this dude falling to the Chiefs, but I'm gonna go with Adonai Mitchell. One, that's my coolest name in the draft right there. Adonai Mitchell, like that's next level.
Yeah, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with that pick. They need a wide receiver too, and that offense terribly. I feel like their receivers are very inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I got the Lions on the clock here.
Second favorite team.
What's that?
Your second favorite team.
Me?
Yeah. You're a big
Well,
CDC guy.
I am a MCDC guy, but I don't know. I wouldn't call him my second favorite team. I
He's
like
a big
Junior.
he's a big golf guy.
No, I like
Yeah.
I like the offensive line. You know, I think they have one of the best offensive lines. So I think they draft more um in the secondary here, and I think they get Tyler Nubin to kind of replace who they just lose to the Eagles.
It's Gardner Johnson.
Yeah, Sidney Gardner Johnson. J CJ Gardner Johnson. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, uh, I don't know if this needs updated, but that's something that they definitely need to address is replacing. They had like the worst pass coverage in the league last year. So
Yep. That's bad. All
go
right, Nate.
ahead, Dom.
Oh, it's me.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. The Ravens. Ravens are sitting there and they're thinking, you know what? We just watched a linebacker go right in front of our face. So it's tough. I'm thinking, yeah, go to corners for me. Yes, that kid from Michigan. That's who I'm gonna take here.
Stainress still? Mike Sainristil still? Sounds like a
Sounds good to
white
me.
name.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm taking. I remember him from strictly just from the OSU Michigan game.
Hmm. And now we got the 49ers on the clock.
Is it me again?
Hmm.
Okay, so it's been a little too chill. Okay, it's been a little too chill for me. You know, a lot of talks. Brock Purdy. You know,
Let's go. I already
Mister
know where we're going with this.
Mister Mid. You know, they call him Mister Mid. Um, so I'm sitting here and I'm like, big Michael Penix guy. I think Kyle Shanahan knows good quarterback play when he sees it. And I think he knows that if he took Penix here, he could turn him into a generational talent if he's healthy. So that's where we're going with this pick. We're going with Michael Penix.
Bro, I didn't even know Michael Penix was still available. I'm surprised we didn't take him at all.
Bro, I mean, his engine, like, I don't know, it reminds me of like Brandon Roy in the NBA from years back. Him coming out. People were telling everybody, do not take Brandon Roy. Do not take Brandon Roy. He's going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt. Guess what happened? Career ending injury, got hurt. So it is smart what teams are thinking. So it's a definitely a shocker of a pick, but because he'll probably go second round. But hey, if he's healthy, I think he's up there with the top 3 QBs, honestly. Couldn't just not see him go.
Yeah, I
This
see it.
next pick's got to be the easiest one on the draft.
See, like for the Chiefs, I can see them doing one of two things right here. All right, so you had the last pick. Um, everyone thinks they're drafting wide receiver. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. I think getting Marquise Brown um, does a lot for that team, and we saw that they can do it kind of without a receiver. But I'd like for them to go tackle for fantasy purposes, but at the end of the day, I don't think they do that. We got Brian Thomas here, and we also have Lad McConkey. But overall, I think LSU develops the best wide receiver, so that's who I'm going to draft in this position.
It's settled. She Rice stock
Down.
down. All right, that was our first ever mock draft. Maybe if they don't make them pay for it, we'll get a screenshot of that and post it on socials. But yeah, another good episode, man. At 50 episodes. Hoping y'all are enjoying it. Tell a friend to tell a friend to watch this podcast, man. Another good episode. It was real, yo. Peace.
Peace.